Hello friends, it's Lee with Lee's Trees. Thank you for joining me. Welcome. Today we're going to work on our Zelkova. We picked this tree up a few months ago from the Bonsai Learning Center during a club meeting being held there. And we'll give it a quick turn for you. And this is what I am choosing it for the front. And here in a moment, or actually let me go ahead and show you that now. We can zoom in. You can really see it's got a really nice nabari here. And the tree is leaning towards us a little bit. And also, this side hides some big scars. So as I turn it around to the left side here, you can see there's a pretty big scar mark there. And here we are, back to the full view. And we will move it around to the left side. And that big scar mark I was talking about, to the back. Another big scar up here to the right side and back to the front. And I don't plan to repot this today. It's in a really nice pot made by Wolf and Moore. I think it's Brad Miller. And it's a signed handmade pot. I really like it, and it's in really good soil. That's not the purpose. But since spring is coming, we want to give it a little bit of a trim. So we're going to bring the tree towards us some so we can get to it better and you can have a little better view. So right off the bat, we can see we've got a branch here that's crossing the center and going, honestly, this whole branch could probably go. Actually, if I keep that as my front more, then maybe I want to get rid of this one coming that's more of an eye poker. So I think, let me start with that, and we will call this our immediate front. So if that's my front, this branch becomes an eye poker. So we're going to take it off. And I will come in with our rubber cement and give a little dab there. And while I'm at it, we've got a pretty big stub from where it was cut before, so let's try to clean that up a bit. There we go. But that still leaves this branch crossing over top of the one just below it. And it looks like there's a bud actually right here. So I'm going to cut it there. And we have another smaller branch coming from the base in the back here. And I don't think I'm going to want that. So I'm going to cut that off. So now let me come down to my bottom branch, our primary branch, which, yes, I do believe is too low, but I'm going to leave it for right now. I may end up cutting it off here in a few more months. Once it actually starts to bud out a little bit more, I might try to take it as a cutting, but for right now, I'm going to leave it alone. So that gets us started on the branches up above it. And just so you can see, here, let me adjust the camera one more time. So again, we have our front, and immediately I can see this branch coming straight at us as an eye poker. So I'm going to take that one off, and that opens that up. And so let's just pick one branch and stick with it. I think that'll be the easiest. And this is my first time doing any work on this tree. So I've got a set of branches coming from underneath here that I think I'm going to take off. And this one's going to be coming straight up, but there's a tiny little bud right there. So I'm going to take it there. I've got a piece in the back here that's going straight back, and I think I'm going to take the whole part off. And there's a few little old stubs back here we're just going to snip off. want to snip that little piece and see if something comes directly out from it. So the rest of this branch, okay, so again, we've got two branches. We've got a bigger branch and a tiny little one coming from underneath. So I think being that far back for the ramification, I think I'm going to keep the small one and take the big one. And since I can see a tiny little bit of green here, and even though this is brown where this old nub was here a moment ago, we'll rub a little rubber cement on it just in case. So that has that branch taken care of. There's actually a little dead stub nub inside there. Oh, maybe it wasn't that dead. So I might want to wait and just deal with the rubber cement all at one time at the end of the video. So let's come to our branch here that's a little bit lower and get started on it. So we have a piece coming pretty much off the bottom there that we'll take off. We have these small branches farther back in, and they're all, again, we've got them coming from one spot, so we'll take that one off in the center. This branch is coming straight off the top, so we will snip it. So there's a branch way back in that's, again, we've got a couple that are competing. So I'll take that one off and leave the one that's in front of it a little bit, coming out a slightly nicer direction right there. And so that just leaves us these spots. There, it looks like there's a dead nub there and a dead nub there. So that's that part of that branch. Now for this one, there's a tiny little piece inside here that I think will eventually be in the way, so we'll take it off. There's a little nub stub piece under here. That's going to go back, so we'll leave that. It's sort of coming out towards us there. Again, this piece is straight off the top. We'll take it. Now, there's a couple branches competing inside here. We'll take those off. Now for our very tip branch here, we'll take that top piece off. And again, there's another sucker coming from the base of it. We will remove that one. And there's an old cut stub right there that we'll clean up. That looks better. And just because it's getting long, I can see there's a little bud here, so I will take that off there. But we will leave the rest of that in the front. So this branch back here, you can see this piece is coming up. And actually this whole branch is swooping back the wrong way, so let's take it back to there. There's another little dead piece in there we were able to just rub away. Actually, let's just take this to here, and hopefully something will bud out from it. And now I have to decide about this, because as again, you can see we have two branches coming from the same place. And if I come around, it doesn't really look very good from the front. But I don't really have too many back branches, let's say. But I don't think I want it there. I don't have my piece of paper with me to do the Peter Chan trick of trying to hide it, but I think it will definitely open things up better if we remove it. That one I'm going to go ahead and seal right away because it's a bit bigger. And since I have some stuff on my finger, we'll go ahead and get this. We got that under there. Okay, so let's come back to our front. My little marker is sitting right here. You can't really see that, but so that definitely opened that part up, makes that look better. So that's those few branches taken care of. So let's move up. And I've got a piece right in here coming from the base, you know, several branches coming from one spot. And that one's more of an eye poker, so we'll take it out. Got a branch crossing the trunk in here. We'll remove. So I've got, it's getting a little clustered in here, so I think I'm going to take off all of those. And now, what about that one? And I think it's also, it's just a big cluster up in here. I want to remove some of those. We want to take these off that are going straight down. Those aren't going to help anything. There's a little piece coming up here. Actually, that branch in the back can go. So looking from the front, it's almost like we do have a little bit of a ladder situation. It'd be nice if this branch was coming out a bit straighter to make it look a little better. But we can maybe actually clean some of that up with pruning. If we remove, actually, if I take this back all the way to here, now I'm actually going to leave a stub for dieback on that just in case, because it's a bigger branch. Like I say, I've never dealt with this before. A little bit of rubber cement on that. So once that stub dies, that will leave that branch to come up a bit and then come out. And I think, yes, it will almost look like a handlebar branch with that one, but I think that's going to be enough to trick the eye that it won't look that bad. And there's a little piece in the front here we'll take off. And the rest of that we're going to let go. So now let's move up to the top a little bit more. I don't think I mentioned it's the first week of March. I don't know when I'll be releasing this video, but I was going to just give this a trim before spring got here fully. Things are getting nice and warm out. And if you consider, 50s and 60s warm, which a lot of people do. So I've got a pretty big scar right here and kind of a bit of a bulge. And so I want to see if I can take some of that off. If I come in here, can I trim some of that? Or do I maybe need to use the knob cutters a tiny bit to try to create a little bit more of a curve there? That definitely looks better. I don't think I'm going to fool with that part of it at the moment. There's plenty of live bark in the back here to continue to feed the apex. I do want to, so again, since that's a little bit bigger, let's go ahead and get some rubber cement put on it right away. Come back to the front. So we've got this piece is coming out towards us a little. It looks like there's a tiny bud right there. In the back, we've got two branches coming from one spot. The same thing. These are almost too close together, so I think I'm going to take this whole piece off. And let's see if we can Clean that up a little bit. Let's see, that's looking better. But as far as that branch goes, I'm not really going to worry about trimming too many of the tips on it. So now let's move up. Again, we've got this situation where we have multiple pieces coming from one area. Let's take that one off. Now this branch is sticking out farther past our lower branches, so we're going to need to take it back quite a bit. If not, actually we're going to keep this one, and I do want to take it back quite a bit to there, and hopefully will be a bud shoot from in here somewhere. But for the back one that's actually a little thicker, we're going to take it all the way off and leaving the thinner one this time for the taper and ramification. Let's put us a little rubber cement there. So I have a couple of back branches here, or other branches. There's a little piece in here that's in the way. That's going up, but it looks like there might be a piece coming out, and this one's coming off the top. So I'm going to leave that the way it is now. And that just leaves the apex and what to do and which one to choose. And as you can tell, this tree is more of a formal upright than it is a broom style. Most Zelkovas are broom style or trained in the broom style fashion. Actually, this one branch here in the back has got a few buds coming right there, so I'm going to take it back just a tiny bit. And it looks like maybe I should take that one. That's better. But I'm trying to decide what to do with this. And I think if I were to remove all of this part here, that would give me a little better taper and bring it back up over the center a little bit better to look more like a formal upright. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and hope I'm not making a mistake. Or do I want to keep that as it is and have this become a new side branch? Actually, let's keep that as it is and let this one be a new side branch. So why don't we come in here and take that down, and then maybe again to keep the taper better, take that one, and that leaves that as my apex. And there is a tiny bud here that will come out and start coming back up the straight direction. So do I want to clean that up a bit? Okay. Again, put us some rubber cement there. Take a moment, hit a few of these little spots. All right, I think that's going to do it for our Zelkova for today. Let me readjust the camera and give you a final view here. And here we are with our Zelkova in the final view. Actually, that bottom branch is coming way far out. Like I said, I'm actually going to leave it because that's right. I wanted to take a cutting of it once it actually starts to bud out. So I'm going to leave it alone. So here's my little front marker piece here. And so there's our front. Looking, again, this branch is coming actually straight at us a bit. Let me take it back to there. That's better. Actually, do I maybe want to? Oh, that is actually much better. That branch was pretty large there coming straight at us, but that looks a lot better now. Let me see if I can take that a little cleaner back. And I'll put some cut paste on, or not cut paste, but rubber cement on that in just a second. So here we go. Here's our Zelkova. Here's our front. To the left side. To the back. I need some back branching coming so it's not quite so two-dimensional. To the right side and back to the front. And we'll try to gather up in the front here. You can see just how much we've taken off the tree. So I'm going to put this back outside, let it start warming up and budding out, and see what happens come this spring and summer. And now it's the first week in April. Here's our Zelkova after it's been leafing out. Looking really wonderful. I love how it's looking. Here's the front of the tree. To the right side. To the back. There's a little branch coming out here so it won't look quite so two-dimensional in the future. To the left side. Back to the front. I decided I'm going to wait till fall before I cut off this bottom branch to take it as a cutting. I heard on someone just say that you should wait until fall to do hardwood cuttings, and that's most definitely going to be a hardwood cutting, that big branch there. So for right now, we're just going to put it back on the bench and let it grow. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.